Ajay Bodke, Head Investment Strategy and Advisory at Prabhudas Lilladher is joining in. Ajay, morning. Thanks for taking the time out. What's it looking like? I mean, the market's having a little bit of a yo-yo week. I mean, the first 2 days, massive cuts. Then came the rebound. What's it looking like? Are we back in momentum or it's time to again turn a little cautious here?
I think the first few sessions in the week, I think there was a concern, in fact, a sense of fear and trepidation among section of the market about the FOMC meeting and the outcome of that. But having heard the FOMC chairperson, I think all the apprehensions about earlier than expected increase in interest rates in the US, I think have been laid to rest. And the market seems to have now sort of taken it in the stride that the earliest that the interest rates in the US would rise would sometime be in middle of calendar year 15. And also the assurance that there will be considerable time between the ending of the QE, which should happen next month, and the first increase in interest rates also has reassured investors, as also the fact that there is considerable slack in the US economy, and also the unwinding of the total stock of securities that has been built up by the US will happen extremely slowly. So I think all these signals were taken very positively by the emerging markets in general, in India in particular, and hence you saw a massive amount of relief rally where the cyclicals led from the front yesterday. I think today, in my opinion, I think the market should consolidate over the next few sessions and sort of, the measured and calibrated up move in the Indian market should continue, because the basic drivers, namely extremely weak crude prices. As I mentioned in last session, I think every $1 drop in Indian crude basket leads to roughly 3,300 crores of savings in under recoveries. 60% of which goes to the government account and 40% goes to the upstream oil companies account. So already we have around $7 to $8 of differential between the Indian crude basket same time last year and the price today. So we are looking at roughly around 22,000 to 23,000 crores of savings. Also, other commodity prices are quite weak, which is also helping keep the market buoyant. The monsoons and sowing data, which was sort of looking quite grim in June, also sort of looks quite good today. So I think all in all, I think we should look at a very measured and calibrated move in the Indian markets over the next in the short to medium term.
Fair enough. Ajay, just hold that thought. I want to quickly mention what's happening in the pre-open out here. I'll come back to you with your thoughts as well in terms of individual stocks. But in the pre-open, yesterday, currency shut shop at somewhere around 60.84 is what we saw in terms of levels there. But talk about the benchmark indices, it's a little quiet looking at the way the Sensex is panning out. Just 3 to 4 points higher. The Nifty though taking a knock of almost 20-23 points. Wait for that one to get a better quote in a couple of minutes in terms of some more stability there. But the Sensex probably is reflecting the kind of mood that we're seeing on some of the Asian peers as well, and what's been happening with some of the other global markets. On that note, currencies opened at 60.76 is what we're seeing today. So there's been a little bit of strength coming in as far as the rupee is concerned, is what we've been tracking so far. There you go, 60.77 in terms of the way levels are actually panning out for the rupee right now. But Anu's also joining in. Anu, that's going to be pretty important to see, because we've been tracking the kind of commentary from the IMF, we've been tracking global events, the dollar index as well, all that playing onto the currency today?
In fact, the positions are light, which is why you're seeing a bit of like no movement at all on the currency, because there are enough cues to take the rupee slightly lower, depending on what the dollar is doing, but traders are staying out of this market. We've got the Scottish referendum report. I know Saurabh was saying that no one should lose sleep over it, but it does worry the money market, because if you see any big gyration coming on an international currency, it plays out badly on Monday on bunched up flows for us as well. On the other side, you have data coming out from the US as well. And finally, the IMF going ahead and reiterating that the downside risk to growth and the upside risk to vulnerability for EMs such as India are higher now, and RBI should go ahead and raise rates, is the big one to watch out for. So overall, the level should sustain at about 60, 70, 60, 50. That's the range we're looking at for right now. But Monday is going to be the big morning to watch out for, because there'll be a lot of bunch up cues. And let's see if the equity side starts to play along and gives a little bit of boost to the currency.
All right, 60.77. Anu, thanks for getting us those updates in terms of what we're tracking as far as the currency is concerned. But on the same note, Sensex up 32, 33 odd points. You know, Ajay, let's get your thoughts. How are you viewing the currency out here? What are your thoughts when we talk about levels? Because, you know, we've discussed that with you previously as well, and you track the entire macro as well as the way it plays out on the currency pretty closely. So, what's your reading at the current level?
Yeah, I think, as I said, I think the allay of apprehensions about ratcheting up of US interest rates earlier than expected, I think, in my opinion, spells good news for emerging markets in general and India in particular. And we have been one of the large recipients of strong FI flows. Year to date, roughly $30 billion has come in, equity and debt put together, roughly 13.5 billion in equities and the remaining in debt. This is to be seen in the context of calendar year 13, in which we saw a withdrawal of $12 billion in debt and roughly $20 billion came in equities. So I think FI flows, in my opinion, should continue to be supportive for India. And one should continue to see strong FI flows going forward as you see the economy picking steam sometime in the third and fourth quarter of the current calendar year, with aggregate demand for engineering, construction and capital goods companies coming back. Also, I think, you know, in my opinion, with the government's aggressive divestment program, I think one can sort of, you know, see investments coming in both from the institutional investors in India as well as overseas. I think overall, in my opinion, the currency should remain in the current band, give and take maybe a rupee or so, or a rupee and a half on the either side.
All right, Ajay, let's talk about some stocks in focus today. Pharma is in focus, of course, given that we're going to see price caps for 43 more drugs. So heading into opening trade, what is the kind of reaction you're looking at on a Ranbaxy, if Cipla, for example?
Absolutely nothing. Because if you look at it in the total overall context, 450 crores is the total impact. And out of which, I think, if I'm given to believe that if you, for these 43 drugs, 179 crores is the total price erosion that has been factored in for all the drugs, for all the companies put together. So the impact on individual stocks, according to my pharma analyst, is going to be quite negligible. And hence, I think the market sort of, you know, in my opinion, would ignore this news.
All right, so that's as far as the pharma pack is concerned and what we're actually tracking there. But, well, nifty changes coming in today as well. Ajay, any thoughts on those two names? One of them being United Spirits, that's going to be leaving and getting out of the index. And the other one that's coming in is Zee Entertainment. Any of these stocks on your radar?
Yeah, I think we do not unfortunately track USL, but Zee we do track, and Zee figures in our top picks list. Our media analyst sort of, you know, is looking at a 330 rupees of target price for Zee in the medium term. That is, you know, between 9 months to 1 year. And essentially, he is factoring in a 12% growth in earnings for Zee in the current financial year, followed by 16% in FY16, boiling down to 9% growth in earnings for this year and 23% growth in earnings for next financial year. He is looking at an uptrend in ROEs from 19.3% in the current year to 21.1% next financial year. And stock is trading at around 23 times earnings. So we are positive on Zee Telefilms with a medium-term perspective.
All right, so that's as far as the kind of cue that we're actually picking up on some of these index changes is what we're seeing as far as United Spirits and Zee Entertainment are concerned. These two counters also will be in focus. And, you know, Ajay, just a quick comment on the other one as well. Biocon is going to be something that, you know, me and I were discussing about this earlier as well on the back of that entire sale that's taken place in Syngene. And there have been so many developments in the last few days regarding Syngene as well. Are you tracking anything here? Is Biocon on your radar?
Unfortunately, we don't cover Biocon. Okay. It's not in our coverage universe, so it will be inappropriate for me to comment on the stock.
What about ICICI Bank, Ajay? Because we've seen a $1 billion deal tied up with China's Exim Bank. That particular stock, how's it looking to you?
I think the entire banking space is looking quite attractive. We basically are expecting that with very extremely soft trends emerging in the WPI for the month of August at a 5-year low of 3.57%, especially food inflation coming in at only 5%. I think the CPI numbers for August, we expect them to be quite benign. And we feel that the RBI, hopefully, I think in 6 months from now, should start looking at a more accommodative stance, and hence that should benefit the banking space as a whole. Within the banking space, I think, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank and SBI are our top picks. We also like HDFC Bank. However, HDFC Bank is a tremendous overhang about its FIPB approval. But if that comes through, then one shouldn't be surprised if one sees 150 rupees upside coming in HDFC Bank quite soon. So ICICI Bank, we continue to remain positive, along with Axis Bank and SBI.
All right, Ajay, fair enough. Thanks so much for joining in today, getting us your thoughts in terms of markets, as well as a couple of the stocks that are on your radar in the current scenario. Thanks for you coming in from Prabhudas Leela, they're out there, but a quick mention of the way the pre-open